Welcome to Brit News Channel. If you enjoy staying updated with the latest news, make sure to subscribe and activate the notification.
Sir John Curtice claims Keir Starmer has demonstrated absolutely no ability to articulate how he intends to address the country's challenges after 5 months in government. The PM is preparing for a significant policy reset this week. This week, Sir Keir Starmer will present a plan for change as part of the next phase of his leadership after a rocky start in number. However, the UK's leading pollster has expressed serious concerns about his ability to gain public trust. Following 5 months, during which the PM's approval ratings have plummeted, Sir Keir intends to establish numerical targets for the economy, the NHS, public safety, energy security, and social mobility. These benchmarks will serve as measures of his government's performance ahead of the next general election, anticipated in 2029. According to Downing Street, these milestones will accompany reforms in the public sector. They include restructuring Whitehall, guided by a new chief civil servant and cabinet ministers to be announced, to align with Labour's missions. Polling expert Sir John Curtice cautioned that Sir Keir's administration has encountered significant political trouble rather early on, adding, "The fundamental issue is whether a politician with no proven narrative-building ability can suddenly create one." Speaking to The Independent, Curtice remarked that the government lacks a clear story of what it stands for. There is recognition of the need for improvement, but improvement alone doesn't suffice. You must convince people that you've achieved it, he explained. The plan for change seems to address the criticism that their campaign was focused on generic change, lacking specifics about the nature of that change, an issue evident 6 months ago. Since winning a landslide majority in July, Sir Keir has enacted several highly controversial measures, such as cutting winter fuel payments for millions of pensioners, increasing employer national insurance contributions, and extending inheritance tax to agricultural properties. Farmers argue this will jeopardize the future of family-run farms. Next week, Sir Keir will frame these measures as difficult decisions necessary to tackle the unprecedented twin challenges of failing public services and financial instability inherited by his government. He will assert that despite the difficulties, Labour has stabilised the economy, invested £22 billion into the NHS, and intensified efforts to curb illegal immigration. The reset follows the resignation of Transport Secretary Louise Hay, who became the first cabinet casualty after admitting to filing a false police report over a stolen phone a decade ago. Previewing his speech, Sir Keir stated, "This plan for change is the most ambitious yet honest government program in a generation. A mission-led approach doesn't mean setting easy or inevitable milestones. It's about delivering tangible improvements for working people. We've begun fixing the foundations, stabilizing the economy, enhancing border security, and investing £22 billion into a future-ready NHS. Our plan represents the next stage in fulfilling this government's mission. While some will resist our approach and obstacles will arise, we were elected to deliver change, and our priorities reflect the needs of working people. Given the extraordinary challenges we inherited, repeating past strategies is not an option. Innovation and reform must accompany investment." Since the general election, which saw Labour secure a 174-seat majority with 34% of the vote, the party's polling lead over the Conservatives has narrowed to just 3 points. Responding to the plans, Tory co-chair Nigel Huddleston criticised Sir Keir for yet another policy relaunch, labelling it his 17th reset. Huddleston stated, This relaunch won't disguise the chaos Labour has inflicted. In 4 months, Labour has cut winter fuel payments for 10 million pensioners, imposed the family farm tax, and raised taxes on businesses and workers. Keir Starmer must explain why someone with a fraud conviction was appointed to his cabinet. Reform UK, which Nigel Farage recently claimed now has over 100,000 members, also voiced skepticism. A spokesperson remarked, "Barely months into this government, they're already seeking a reset. With pension freezes, tax hikes, and threats to British farming, the damage is already done. Promised change has delivered sleaze, dishonesty, and the same failures as before."
Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.